Mass residents, if you're struck by lightning on the job, can you receive compensation benefits? Normally, no, but there are exceptions, and here's one. So, back in July of 1942, at a Boy Scouts of America camp in Massachusetts, there was a Boy Scout member employee who was a medic. His duties included providing first aid work to people who were injured, inspecting the camp on foot, which was about a square mile, and he would supervise the water activities, including swimming. There was no physician on staff, so he was amongst the first aid crew. The camp's hospital was located on a hill at the highest point on the grounds and had an open exposure on all sides. Electricity came to the hospital building through a wire attached to a tree just outside the hospital. The supervision of swimming required this employee to wear a bathing suit during the swimming period. On July 4th, 1942, during a rainstorm, the employee had been walking to cabin to see and check on the Boy Scouts who were sick, as was his normal duty. His clothes had become wet, and he went to the hospital where he stayed and where his dry clothes were kept. While he was at the hospital, and he was standing in his wet clothes under an electric light next to a steel bed and near a light plug and fuse box, a lightning bolt unfortunately struck the area, injuring him, knocking him to the ground, and causing him to become injured. So he brought a comp case, and initially, the workers' comp court did not agree with the employee and would not give benefits. He appealed all the way up to the Mass Supreme Judicial Court, which is the highest court in the land, and they cited the rule that normally, no, lightning is an act of God, and there's nothing that your job can do if you're injured by an act of God unless he can sufficiently associate such injury with his employment. This he can do if he can show that the employment exposed him in a special degree to suffering such injury. So, applying that rule to this case and the facts that we just discussed, the court went on to rule that we think that it could have been found without expert evidence that a person in wet clothes, standing close to an iron bed, and near to an electric light and electric wiring in a building, on a hill, exposed, was in a position of unusual danger from lightning. So in this case, the employee won. The lightning strike was compensable, but again, you have to meet the rule. So please feel free to share this with anyone you know. Like, comment, subscribe, ask me any questions. If you've been injured in an accident, car accident, dog bite, comp case,